I'm going to be showing you how to make a very simple, quick family meal for my new cookbook, Family Kitchen. We're going to be making popcorn fish and pepper tomato sauce. It is super quick to make and it's one that can be used for the whole family. In this book, it was really important to me to make sure that one dish feeds everyone, whether you're weaning, a teen, or you want a more adult meal. And this is a great example on how to do it. So first up, we need some fish. Now, I like to use hake because I find it the least fishy fish for young children. I have a fussy toddler, and this goes down really, really well. So first up, we're going to put a fillet of fish into a blender. Now, you could use any fish. You could use salmon, sea bass, cod, whatever it is you like. So it's really, really versatile recipe. So pop it in with a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to put in some self-raising flour. So just a tablespoon of self-raising flour, and then I'm going to blend it up, and it is that simple. Pop the lid on. Let's go. So it turns into sort of a paste. So if you haven't got a blender, you can still do this because you can just chop it really finely and sort of, I like to say, smush it with the back of a knife, you know what I mean, to make it into this paste. So give it a good whiz, and I'll show you what the consistency is. So it kind of turns into a ball of sort of fish, so to speak. So what we're going to do is then turn it into tiny little balls and then fry them off. But you can also make them into burgers as well if you wanted to do something a little bit more interesting. Throw in a bit of feta maybe, some lovely parsley, and that could be slightly more adult friendly and maybe sort of older kids as well. I like to say that this book is from pregnancy through to grandparents and everything in between. So all the recipes are really, really versatile and easy to make, but also friendly for all different palates. Right, so what we're going to do is, with our fish in there, I'm literally just going to get little balls like this, and then I'm going to pop them into the pan to fry off. So you can make them as big or as small as you like, and it's super quick to do, as you can see. So while they're frying off, we're also going to make a sauce. Now, one of my great tips for making a very, very quick and easy sauce is to blend it all first before you cook it off. It's just a really great time-saving way of cooking if you've got sort of a lack of time in the kitchen, which I know a lot of you guys have, as do I, because, you know, you've got a kid hanging off one leg, you've got a dog barking at you, and you know, you've got your hungry partner in the wings trying to snatch all the food before it gets to the table. So it is a battle of the wills sometimes cooking for a family, and it's just a really quick and simple recipe. Now, all the recipes in the book work for whatever you've got in your fridge. So like I say, it really is very flexible. I like to call them flexi recipes. Making life easy for everyone at home. In the book, in the recipes, there's loads of hidden veg recipes, lots of batch cook recipes that you can freeze to make life simple and easy for you going forward. If you get home and, you know, like me, most of the time I've got 5 minutes to pull something together, I just want to pull it out the freezer. So, right, we're going to cook those off, and while I'm doing that, I'm also going to be making the sauce. Now, in this pan bubbling away, you might have wondered what's in there. There is some quinoa cooking. Now, this is just to serve it with the sauce, but you could use rice, you could use pasta, pretty much anything. This also works really well with spaghetti because it's a good sauce recipe. So it's kind of like, I suppose it's an alternative to meatballs, so to say. And they're brilliant because they're not hard, they're quite soft and fluffy because we're using self-raising flour, so they're great for young gums and any kids that are weaning. and they're quite fun. So if you have kids that don't like sauce, you can leave it separately. You don't have to make the sauce. You could use ketchup, which we do quite a lot at our house. You can also use things like hummus and things like that. One of the other things that I do with these is add a little spoonful of pesto into the fish mixture when I'm blending it up. So if you have kids that love pesto, a bit funny with fish and things like that, that's another way of sort of like transitioning them over into a more flavoursome type meal that is less sort of store-bought, if you know what I mean. But you know, all kids love pesto, so when my little boy Rudy went off fish, that was one of the ways that I got him back into it, was by making this dish out of the book, popcorn fish, but adding in some pesto as well. Right, let's just turn that down a little bit. Now, if like me, I don't like eating at 5 o'clock, I want to eat a meal with my husband at normal time. I like to have this dish, but I like a nice pan-fried piece of haddock with the sauce and the quinoa, and some veggies on the side. So this is what the great thing about this dish, and a lot of the dishes in the book, is they're flexible for the whole family. So while that's cooking off, I'm also going to add just a little glug of olive oil in here, and I'm going to cook off this piece of fish at the same time. So you can see you don't need to eat the same food as your kids, but it is the same meal. You see what I mean? So as that's cooking, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. You can add some delicious chili onto there, some harissa, which is lovely with this as well. And then as that's cooking off, I don't like to use too many pans because I don't like washing up. You'll find that in the book there's a lot of one-pot dishes and tray bakes because I don't like washing up. Makes life much easier. I'm going to get some green beans and I'm going to pop them in with the quinoa as that's cooking. Just so they can cook off there. You could also serve this with corn on the cob or some peas like in the picture in the recipe. So it's a really quick and simple, easy dish to make for everyone really. So as that's cooking, just going to cook off this. That sauce is looking absolutely delicious. So it's now not raw anymore. It's been cooked off, so you know, easier on the tummies, things like that. I've got a kid's dish and I've got an adult's dish. Right, those little popcorns seem to be done. So I'm going to pop them into a bowl and onto the plate, like that. So you can see there's quite a large amount there, just on one piece of fish. So I would say that would be 3 little ones and maybe 2 medium-sized ones. Obviously, depending on what their appetite's like. Okay. So that's cooked. Let's drain off this quinoa. 1 minute. So quinoa for little one, like that. Some green beans on the side, and a little bit of the sauce over the top. So that's how I would serve it to Rudy, and he can then dip that in. And then for me, I would have a nice piece of fish over the top of some quinoa. Probably put some chopped chili over the top, some green beans in there as well. A fish. Lovely. And then a beautiful bit of the sauce over the top of that. So there we go. Family food for everyone. It's just cooked slightly differently at the same time, but it works for the entire family. And that's from my cookbook, Family Kitchen, and you can find it on the Waterstones website and also in their stores.